Do you think that most people value cybersecurity? Do organizations value cybersecurity? If we can't show how cybersecurity aligns with people's principles and standards with what they think is important, then it's very hard to get them to care about cybersecurity. And if we're thinking about the workplace, if we can't show how cybersecurity practices and principles align with the wider organizational values, then we will always be swimming against the tide when it comes to cybersecurity culture. Cybersecurity culture is not something that you add on or bolt on or layer on top of the existing organizational culture. It's something that has to become part of that organizational culture. It needs to be aligned with it. And this is why cybersecurity culture is about a lot more than just awareness and behaviors. Yes, those are very important, and I've covered those in previous videos in this series, so do check them out. But values really tap into people's intrinsic motivations, what is deeply important to them. If security values contradict organizational values, then it's security that will suffer. People will resist change and procedures that they know contradict with the wider, more important priorities of the business. This will lead to what's known as cognitive dissonance, a gap between what is said about security and what is actually practiced on a day-to-day basis. For example, let's take an organization that is built on a culture of positivity. If the security team penalizes people for making mistakes and doesn't explain the why of controls, if they have a negative culture around security that is very much focused on no and should, then they will likely suffer in the end. It's the security team that will be alienated from the rest of the business. Their colleagues will most likely avoid coming to them with problems or reporting incidents. Chances are that they will be viewed as an ivory tower. In this case, it will be far more effective for the security culture to move in a positive direction, to be more aligned with the wider values and the wider norms in the business. So instead, security could position itself as supporting people, as safeguarding people, and building that no blame just culture that is more likely to encourage reporting of incidents and people generally asking security questions. Values are closely related to the attitudes and beliefs that people have around security. People's attitude to security will be formed through their past experiences, their level of knowledge, through observation and what people around them are doing, what's seen as normal and good. Do people feel a level of personal responsibility for cybersecurity, or do they think that's not my job, that's the job of IT or the security team? Check out the Cygenta Guide to Cybersecurity Culture for more about all of this. There is a link below and it is freely available to anyone who wants to read more. Values aren't something you can easily see on the surface level. Being able to understand values is about asking the right questions. It's about observing people. It's about paying attention to what they say and what they do, really actively listening to them. And this is very similar to understanding perceptions, which I will cover in the last video of this series. So stay tuned to this channel for that video coming soon.